Brother Ben here. Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
All right, family, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to part two. Welcome to part two. Welcome to part two of Belief in the Unseen is the Real Power of Faith. If you missed part one, go to my YouTube channel, Brother Ben X on YouTube. Go to the live section and you'll see part one up there. Pretty good episode. Part one of Belief in the Unseen. We're going to go on part two, which is today. If you're here for your very first time, as you listen, jot down some notes. Write down some things that stood out to you, because at the end, I would like for us to share what stood out to us, because something that you get that's an aha moment for you, we may have missed. Same thing, vice versa. So that's how the power call usually works. So without wasting any more time, let's get right to it.
Everybody that's standing on the wall, sitting in a chair, try your shoe on and see how it fits. I'm going to start with myself. I have to lead the atonement of our nation. What do you have to atone for, brother? The condition of the people under my leadership. I kept asking, what is this one more thing I got to do? I was trying to find it. Must be this, must be that. And I kept doing something. In Savior's Day, I knew I wasn't going to be among you too long. I didn't see death. I said, well, maybe it's time for me to go on to the Father. And then I had a laborers meeting, and I asked to go look at the school. I haven't been in the school for a long time. And one of my sons said, Dad, have you seen the school lately? I said, no. He said, well, maybe unannounced you should just go see. So I did. Minister Ishmael, Sister Shelby were by my side. We were walking. I looked at dirt ingrained in the floor. There was a brother with a mop. It's a dust mop, but the mop was blacker than anything in this room. The mop dirty. I said, Minister Ishmael, I said, the condition of this house is the condition of the hearts and minds of the people in the nation of Islam. I said, you take the messenger's picture down, take my picture down, because this place don't represent him or me. And I went home that night grieving. And the next morning I awakened with a smile because I remembered the words of the messenger to me when the laborers in number 7 had messed up. And I wasn't a part of it. So I went to the messenger with nothing in the pot. I knew he was going to bust my laborers. And then he looked at me and said, well, brother, you are the minister. So I hold you responsible. Well, I know when I went to New York, he told me what he wanted me to do. You do the preaching, and you let them handle the business. But when they're handling the business, messed up the business, he didn't blame them. He wanted me to take over the house. And I went back to New York and took over the house and used the money that he had given me for my family to rebuild mosque number 7. And from that day till the day that I left, not one check with my name on it and Muhammad's name on it ever bounced. Every business was put in the black. Every school was running again. And we had 18 mosques that came into divine order. So I couldn't blame Minister Ishmael and the council. I couldn't blame Sister Shelby and the teachers. I said, Brother Farrakhan, Allah and the messenger didn't put the mission on them. He put it on me. So I said, well, how can I go to my father with us in this condition? I mentioned it to Mother Tynetta. She said, yes, brother. She said, Moses went to the mountain to see God, and he asked him, what are you doing here? Can't you see the condition of the people that you left? So, I remembered reading in the scripture that Paul, the great apostle, could not go to get his reward for his faithfulness until Christ was formed in the people. Well, he's already formed in me. But I can't go anywhere until I see him formed in you, and in those whom you claim to lead. So I decided, since I'm responsible, then every mosque or study group that have Muhammad name on it, that's my name. And my father's name. And the God's name. So if those are your followers, you take your followers and go. But if they are mine, to follow you, to me, to him, then I'm taking over all the houses under that name until Christ is formed in you all. Now, if you don't like that, if Muhammad's mosque has been your personal fiefdom, if you are God in your mosque and beside you there is no other, well, I intend to destroy your playpen. And if you really want to be a helper of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then you're going to have to come and follow me. Some of you want to lead the people to Elijah Muhammad and leave me out. Some of you feel that as long as you know what's written in the books, written by him, you don't need me. You can take the people to the Father without me. Well, I'm here to tell you today that I am the door to my Father. And you can't get to my Father except you come by me. My Father made ministers yesterday, and he's given me authority to make them today. So I will make the ministers henceforth now until God comes. Satan is upset, and the Satan in you is upset. But I'm going to exercise today and drive Satan out of you. I'm going to cast out devils in the name of our Father. Some of you, brothers and sisters, really want to be ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I do too. He said if he had 10 like me, he could take the country, meaning get all our people. Well, there are more than 10 up in here. But the question is, they're not like me. Now, what's wrong with me that you don't want to be like me, since I have the love of the people that God made them to love me? Why don't they love you? He set me in front of you as an example. Not that I'm perfect. No, I'm not perfect. So he could tell me, take off your shoes, Farrakhan, for the ground where you stand is holy. Not that I'm holy. He didn't say, take off your shoes, Moses, you are holy. He said, take off your shoes, Moses, the ground where you stand is holy. Why? Because I'm standing there with you. I'm not perfect. I went all over the world spreading his word because he told me that the job of the messenger is only a clear delivery of the message. Well, I've done it. But then he said to me, it's gonna take more than preaching, brother, to get our people. And I said to myself, well, Father, just give me time and I'll preach and I'll preach and I'll try to get them, because I'll try to make the word so plain. But after I saw the school and the condition of the hearts of the people, I said, oh, so this is what he meant. Not just chastisement, but preaching alone is not going to save our people. Now we're getting into the real phase of this today. What's the theme of this conference? Stop. Say that again. Now, lesson number 1. Question number 11. Master Farad to whom praise is due forever, is asking of his servant Elijah Muhammad, who was 3 years old in the teachings. Have not you heard that your word shall be bond, regardless of whom or what? That was Master Farad asking that question. And our leader answered, yes, my word is bond, and bond is life, and I will give my life before my word shall fail. The question I'm asking now of us, are we his followers? Did he just answer Master Farad Muhammad for himself? Or did he answer him for you and for me and for all who would come to this mission? Did he answer for you? Did he answer for you? Did he answer for me? Yeah. So, what word did Elijah give to Master Farad Muhammad that caused such a question to be put as a lesson to be learned by all those who became registered Muslims? My prayer, my sacrifice, my life, my death is all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He said, I will give all that I have and all within my power to see the day that the devils will be brought into hell. Sitting in this audience today are two men whom I love and admire, of many that are sitting here. But these two are special. Brother James Najee. Stand up, Brother James, please. He was the first minister that I heard when I went to Muhammad Mosque number 7 in New York to really be converted to the messenger of God. Brother James Najee. Seated next to him is Brother Thomas Jihad, who was there when I first opened my eyes. These two were in the FOI when I was asked, after saying my student enrollment, to say something to the men that I was going to become a part of. And with tears running down my face, I said then that I will take this word to every nook and every cranny of the United States of America, and my word is bond. have suffered every day since I've been a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I've known poverty, excruciating poverty. I've known the murderous plots of hypocrites and devils that sought to kill me and my whole family. I've known what it's like to teach my heart out and have some of the people that I was teaching believe that I had taken their money and had some secret house somewhere. I lived under the envy and the jealousy of many who thought that the messenger favored me. But I worked through my pain because the cause for which I was raised is bigger than any Negro who could give me pain, bigger than any hypocrite or envious believer that did not like me. I don't give a damn who don't like me. If Allah loves me, what do I care? But here's where I think I need to atone. I didn't fully realize that my word to him to preach is not all there is. But in order to make his word bond, then through me and through us must come to fruition his vision for our people. Where are the farms? Where are the factories? Where are the institutions? Where are the hospitals? The clinics? Where's the beef cattle? The milking cows? The wheat fields? How can we take our mouth out of the kitchen of our enemy if we are not producing enough food for all of our people to eat? So the theme of this conference is making I gotta walk a little. What is the theme? Do you want to help me make his word bond? If we make his word bond, will any of your needs personally not be met? Will you help me to do more than talk now, but to bring into reality what the talk made our people envision? Talking about the earth bringing forth wheat and asking God to give us our daily bread, but we don't have any earth to plant the wheat seed, then we still believe in a mystery God. But we have tried that mystery God for 450 years, and we got nothing but hunger, nakedness, out of doors, and were beat and killed by those who advocated that we should believe in a mystery God. But the people that believe in a mystery God are the poison animal eaters. What poison animal have we been eating? You forsake the pig, but you allow poison thoughts, poisonous ideas to poison the bloodstream, so that you are a Muslim in name, but you can't act. The first book, I think it's in the New Testament, is called the book of Acts. Didn't say the book of talk. The book of Acts, the Acts of the Apostles, is what made the people to believe in Jesus and see Jesus as their Savior. What are our acts? We've heard the talk. What are our Jesus and book of Acts? The Acts of the Apostles is what made the people to believe in Jesus and see Jesus as their Savior. What are our acts? We've heard the talk. The scripture says, let your light so shine before men that they will glorify your Father which art in heaven. Let your light so shine that they may see. Not hear. They've already heard the good words. Now they must see your good works. For it is seeing our works that will make the people glorify our Father who's above us in the wheel, or wherever he wants to be. That would be number 3. Well, Jesus said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men unto me. Now listen, this is critical now. You're a little asleep, go get some water, wash your face. There's fire coming down. See? Yeah, that's right, brother. See, these last few days, it's like the Holy Ghost came into the room. No, this is real.
Right.
I saw a spirit in you that you felt you had the power now to go do the work. Was I wrong, or did I not see you correctly? Straighten me out. Oh, I didn't miss it then. Okay, listen, here we go. Minister Willie from New Orleans, is he here? Stand up. Minister Robert from Houston, stand up. They went to the 10th or the second anniversary of Katrina. And both of them wrote me a report. In their report, they said the crowd was less this year than last year. And listening to some of our young people, it seems as though they lost hope. Is that your report? Is that your report, Minister Willie? Question. Our hope is lost, the dry bones said. Our bones are dry. We are cut off from our pods. Why is there hopelessness among them? And whose fault is it? See, if we had done more than talk, if we had raised the flag by building institutions instead of talking madness, showing off authority, dominating people, pushing people out when we should be pulling people in. If we had given them something to look at, they wouldn't be hopeless. They would say, let's run to the nation of Islam, because Islam comes after everything else has failed. Everything has failed. Now the nation of Islam must rise up to make his word bond. Listen. See? He said, my word is bond, and bond is life. How can we give life to the dead unless we make his word bond for them as well as for us? Come on. I had a great former foreign minister, jurist, spend a week at the farm with me. He's 90 years old. He was the lawyer that fought for Jomo Kenyatta and the Mau Mau in Kenya. And there were several people in a list of persons that he admired. And there were 17. And of the 17, 2 were followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and the third one was myself. Now, I went to bed that night and I thought that I would ask him the next day, why isn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the teacher of those that you admire, among those whom you admire? His answer was, I don't know anything about him. He's my friend. I call him Dad. But he doesn't know anything about the man that made me somebody for him to admire. Why don't they know him? It is because he has not yet been lifted up from the earth. Well, how do we lift him up? Make his word bond. And once we make his word bond, no student of the master will be looked at above the master. They all will look to the master by the work of his followers. Jesus was long gone, but there was Peter, there was Paul, there was James and John. And you know what they did? They raised the dead. They made the blind see. They healed people. So the word went out. By what power do you do these things? And everything that they did it in Jesus' name. And today, Jesus, that was born in a manger, in a tiny little state called Palestine, is known all over the world because of the acts of his apostles. Are you with me? Yes, sir. We'll see. Now, the next part of that theme is a new beginning. We were taught in the numerical system of the language of mathematics, you have 1 through 9. When you get to 9, you come back to 0, which is death, no time, no measure, nothingness, unless one comes. When we have run the course and come to nothing and recognize our nothingness, then we call for the one to come, to stand behind nothing and generate power from one into nothing, making it 10. And every zero that you add to zero with one behind it, it becomes a number that no man can number. A new beginning. We're at zero. We need the one to come again into our lives. And we need to connect to him and beg him to connect with us so that the power of the one can generate through nothing to make us something. Could you put the diagram up on the board for those in the mosques to see of the circles that we had here? I want them to see what we went through over this 4-day period. And I want to thank all those who sent me emails that wanted to come. And they were literally begging to be a part of this. But unfortunately, we did not allow others to come who were not a part of those ministries. But don't worry. You have been on our hearts all the time to release you and your talent for the building of a nation. Why is it taking so long? I thought they were ready. They pulled it up earlier. Well, we'll go on. We had 30 circles with 24 persons in every circle. Minister Alim thought of the wheel and spheres within spheres. So we decided that down here we would try to duplicate what was going on up there. So we formed wheels within wheels, circles of 24. Will you tell us who makes Holy Quran or Bible? And why does Islam renew her history once every 25,000 years? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we write history to equal the circumference of our planet, as it's 24,896 miles in circumference. Rounded off, it's 25,000. And since every planet inclines to the plane of its orbit 23 degrees 30 minutes, we use 23 scientists. And one was the judge. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it is Master Farad Muhammad's desire to bring us up to equality with the scientists that control weather, raise mountains, and write history before it's done. We write it in advance, then walk into what we've written. So in this new beginning, since the scripture says, ye are all what? Children of. So we put 23 gods in a circle, female and male gods. Male and female created he them. Them. So them is here. And them was in the circle. And them came up with brilliant ideas. And the facilitator was the 24th, but not the judge. Then we had a circle that had nobody in it, reserved for Allah and his messenger. So when we did our work in the circles, being of one accord, being of one mind to solve the problems of our nation, we called into our circle the presence of that circle where we left it open for him. We can go nowhere without the one. I don't know whether Minister Ishmael told you, but this is my 30th year. You told him? And I don't have to repeat it. Did he tell you? That I came to birth sometime between the first and second week in September, and I don't know the date? Did he tell you? Well, this looked like a little manger too. Sometime between the first and second week of September, a new birth, a new beginning to the nation of Islam, rising to a new level to make his word bond. Okay. The last part of that is the hereafter for my followers is tomorrow, next year. When is it? Okay. Here. After the power of the enemy has been broken on our minds, here is where the hereafter begins. And then it spreads in our families, in our communities. Hereafter, the Quran says, in the hereafter, everywhere you look, peace, peace, peace. For these days that we've been here, what did you see? What did you feel? And more? When you have that kind of peace, The Quran says it makes for unlimited progress. No rise and fall, no night and day. A continuous day because the light of God is in your midst. Ain't no night when God is present. Now, he said in the hereafter, there'll be no sickness. If you start getting sick, we know you broke the law. He said in the hereafter, no hospitals, no insane asylums. Why? Because the burden of sin is lifted off your mind. When you stop sinning, you can relate to another overcomer of sin, and it produces out of the law love. And the stress of being a Negro is over, and you feel relief. Now listen, I want every follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to experience the beginning of the hereafter. So when you go back home, your job, well, it's my job now. You don't mind. Because I'll be teaching in your mosque. Because it's really my mosque. That's what it is. And these flies, how did they get in the hereafter? Well, you know, I guess when Jesus was born in the manger, they had flies because the animals were sure enough in there. I'm almost where I want to be. I'm going to teach, and I'm going to invite others whom I approve of to come to Chicago and teach the nation. The rest will be quiet. Listen, 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 and study. Now, some of you are just not cut out for the ministry. It's okay. It's something for us to do when we're building a nation. But if you're not minister material, don't worry about that. You just were not cut out for that. But you're cut out for something. I just needed help, so I threw you where maybe you didn't belong. But now, I want to help qualify all of those who would be ministers. We're going to set a curriculum for you. And then I'm going to test you to see if you're worthy to stand in front of God's people, not because you can memorize something, but because you're living the life that you preach. Well, where do I fit? I'm coming to you in a minute. See, if Christ is formed in you, that means God is growing in you. That's why the scripture says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. But you have to let him grow in you. Well, he can't grow in you unless you feed on him. Now, I'm coming to something now. It might shock you a little bit. Well, you just be shocked, that's all. Listen. In the workbook, The Pedagogy of God and the Messenger, that was a great subject. I'm going to say something about the pedagogy because now I want to show you how you can become what you say you want to be. See, first, we want to be Muslims. That comes before any position. Well, all right, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm lawyer so-and-so, I'm engineer so-and-so, I'm entrepreneur, I'm a multimillionaire. Yeah, good, come on in. Must I soldier? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Everybody in this is a soldier, young and old. And if you don't want a soldier, get out of this. Wait. See, nobody in the kingdom is too good to be a soldier. Everyone who comes to Christ is a soldier. In the army of the Lord to conquer Satan. So you got to know your general orders. You got to know what makes a soldier. You got to fall in and hop, 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 hop.
Good place to end right there. Everybody is a soldier. All right, family, if you have anything that stood out to you in this message, go ahead and press the number 1. At this time, go ahead and press the number 1. At this time, if anything stood out to you. Let's start off with Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir. I was struck by the iron is hot. Even so much said, I'm just going to pick one point because I'm not going to just do a disservice to myself trying to recapitulate this whole message. When he spoke about number 11, have you not learned that your word shall be bond regardless to whom or what? That stood out to me because if we don't make our word bond to ourselves and to God, then I'm just a liar if I don't make my word bond. And it's interesting to me that in our Supreme Wisdom lessons, which you can only get if you're a registered Muslim. So anybody who wants those lessons, you got to get that X. And trust me, it's worth it. that comes after 10 questions and answers dealing with the devil. So it tells me that in the way of me being truthful is some issues with devil or the negative side of my own nature that I got to deal with and get in order, so that when I speak, as the Holy Quran says, let your yea, and this is in the Bible, I believe, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. I can't be lukewarm. I can't be a so-and-so fair weather Muslim, because I'll never embrace the mission. I'll never embrace truth, which the minister said is the greatest or necessary ingredient for our salvation. So that really stood out to me, because it's really the foundation of why I came into the nation. And if I haven't embraced truth and decided to make my word bond, not just what comes out of my mouth, because I know he spoke about the thoughts. If my thinking is off, and I'm saying out of my mouth was really not my thinking, then I'm not speaking truth. It would be better for me to be honest with my thinking, and as the atonement process is, point out the wrong, acknowledge it. I got to acknowledge my thinking. If it's off, it's off. That's why I'm in the teachings, to get it right. And if I never acknowledge that my thinking is off, then I'm living in a la-la land or a dream world. So that stood out to me, because I learned in my decade plus, like 2 decades of Islam, that I had not made my word bond. And that had been a problem that I had to deal with, because I was one of those Muslims who, what being said is more important than what's being done. And he made it clear we have to do the works to bear witness to what's being said. And I realized that problem had a lot to do with not being truthful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sister Dr. K.
Assalamu alaikum. I missed you guys. I haven't been on in a while. I so missed you all. So anyway, such a good message, such a great message. For me, it was a little bit of, I had some scolding for me. Ever since I started listening to it the last time you had it on, I felt the scolding coming from Allah, and listening to the minister when he talked about in the beginning, like the energy with which he was coming from with this message. It was a scolding for me. So just some things that stood out for me personally is like making your word bond, being a Muslim in name, but not in action. The acts is what causes people to believe. Through us is where Allah's vision comes to fruition. That's right. I'm just pointing out just certain things for me that just hit home. Seeing our works makes the people glorify the Father. So it's not about what we say. We can say things all day. We can put the garments on all day. We can do our prayers all day. We can do all those things all day. We can run to try to come into the nation. Ooh, they look so powerful. Ooh, they look so, ooh. Yeah, but it's not about that. What you doing? What you bringing? Don't come in here and not willing to do the work. What are your general orders? What are your orders? Like those things for me is like, what's next? What are you here for? What is your purpose? And then the other thing, so many things. Preaching alone will not change our people. Nobody wants to keep hearing you talk. Nobody wants to keep hearing you say, oh, you should do this. Oh, even when it comes to like, spiritually. Yeah, but what are you doing? So you telling me all this, but I don't see anything from you. Action, people want to see what you do, not what you say. Saying is nothing, it's acts. So when he talked about when the minister explained about how he was talking to the African priest, I don't know, anyway, and he was talking about how he asked the brother how many people, he was asking brother about people that were important to him or whatever, and he was talking about the minister, and he talked about Muhammad Ali, and he talked about Malcolm X, but he never mentioned Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, that's not Honorable Elijah Muhammad's fault. That's our fault. Because, well, what are you doing? If we're doing our works as followers, then that lifts up the master. So we got a duty and a responsibility. And for me, I have to take that scolding, and I have a duty and a responsibility. So that's one key word is study. Are you studying? But not only are you studying, are you taking the things that you're learning and are you applying them? Application is the key, not just studying and gaining the knowledge. How are you applying them? And I was saying to someone, a couple of my friends, for a long time, I would always listening, always taking in the knowledge, but never sharing it, right? Because I always felt like, I don't know how they're going to take this. I don't know if they really understand this. But I come to realize it's not about that. It's not about that. You share the knowledge. You give the knowledge. You do your duty. You have a duty and a responsibility. And you're going to get judged just as harsh from Allah if you ain't doing your duty. And if you ain't taking care of your responsibility. You may think you covered because you in this nation. But you ain't covered because you in this nation. Because Allah gonna still judge you. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing and you ain't making your word bond, you're gonna get judged probably even more harsh than those who haven't been given or haven't been connected to the knowledge, because he connected you to it. He put you in it. So we have a duty and a responsibility. So for me, this was a scolding for me, and I humbly accept the scolding from Allah. And it's time for me to do the work and stop making excuses. So anyway, thanks for letting me speak. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Man, you had all my points. One that stood out, he says, will you help me do more than talk now, but bring into reality what the talk made our people envision? And as you said, what we're here to do now is make his word bond. He said, in order to make his word bond, then through me and through us must come to fruition his vision for our people. So when we read Message to the Black Man, when we read Our Savior Has Arrived, and we read the Muhammad Speaks, and they had this, and he wanted this, and we was going to get this, now that's on our shoulders now. And really, when you say, well, I don't know if I can share this, and if they will understand it, man, they understand it when we bring it into fruition. It's very understandable when we can point to it. Get with 68 like-minded individuals come together. Hey, when we come together to do something powerful that uplifts more than ourselves, we ain't got to try to debate about that principle 68. We point to it. There it is. And when they see the success, remember what Dr. Miles Monroe said a couple weeks ago. Success is what brings about the influence. We follow LeBron because he's successful. Michael Jordan because he's successful. Any rapper because we see them as to be successful. The minister, we love them because of the success. So when we become successful as his followers, that makes it easy for us to gain influence and then take them to where we're supposed to take them to. We ain't the person that it stopped to. We just the sign. We keep going past the sign, so we take them to the Father. We deliver them to the Lamb. But through our success as his followers, he said, if you draw all men unto me, well, we attract them, and we remind them who our teacher is. That's how we do it. But like he said, it ain't going to just be through preaching, because in reality, man, a lot of the people we think we have to preach to, they know they ain't as dumb as we think they are. You got some people that's in the street, you may think, I'm introducing them to the teaching. What if they just on a bad path? They already know the teaching. You trying to tell them about the black man. They probably was in the nation back in the day. You don't even know it. They may be homeless now, but you don't know you preaching to the choir. What they need now is the action part, the fruition part, They need the connection between remembering the student enrollment, remembering the supreme wisdom. How do I connect this and get me some tangible? Like the supreme wisdom say, give me some benefit while you live. That's the part, that's the disconnect part. It ain't that they don't know the black man is God and that the white man wasn't here but 6,000 years and Satan make evil first seem. Oh, they know all the quotes now. They need somebody to help them connect it. So that's what the minister is asking us to do, man. Make his word. Bah, he got the word. We ain't going to preach it better than the minister. Now, that's one thing my student minister said. But he said, shoot, I mean, you can't say it no better than the minister. Shoot. The minister done eloquently. I mean, from the highest seats to the brothers in the hood, the minister done made it plain now. I mean, shoot. You hear the minister, you can't teach it no better than him. But we have to be the ones that can interpret it and say, okay, here's the action plan on how we can make this a reality and make it come into, fruition. Because we know the minister is only one man, and his ultimate mission or job is to deliver a clear message. So when we hear the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say it's going to take more than preaching to get our people, I hope we don't think that's just on the minister for him to go beyond preaching. We want to keep him free to study and to receive the wisdom that he's getting from the wheel so that he can give us a word. So when things is going on the earth and in the world, we know even if people don't believe in the nation, if they say, man, to hell with Muslim, when the minister say, I have a message, you better believe they there to listen. So they can pretend like, oh, I ain't with all that. But when the minister say, I got a message, oh, they want to know what the minister's saying about this. Oh, they calling you now. What the minister's saying about the war. What the minister's saying about because they know. So we want him to remain to be free to study and get that game and that knowledge. We don't want him busy trying to set up businesses and meetings and bub. No, he want us to learn and grow. So we can do that, so he can get that word and give us the word that we need. All right, let's go to Sister Shalon.
Thank you so much, Brother Ben, for your words right there. Okay, so this was a little heartfelt for me when he started off saying, start with self. So I have to go back and start with myself, atone with self first, and then atone for my leadership or the lack thereof of my leadership within my family, and then the nation. I was talking to my son last night, and he brought up going back to the pledge. And when I thought about that, the minister says, I, say your name, I, and then all of what the pledge says to us. Brother Daniel mentioned about the negative side of nature. Tapping into that negative side of nature produces absolutely nothing. Part of our prayer, especially the refuge prayer, but the part of where he talks about the whispering of the slinking devil, the devil within you, the devil within me, that I allow to take over when I know better. When I'm in the weakest part, like how do we keep falling? Do I keep falling into the weaker side, allowing it? Brother Daniel also mentioned about acknowledging how my thinking is off. I have to acknowledge that there are too many times when my thinking is off. This message was so great. I have not made my word bond to Allah first. I haven't made my word bond to myself with regard to all that my nation is. and that I am supposed to be. Dr. Kenyatta said it so well when she said, this is definitely some scolding. Lord, this is definitely some scolding. But there's a harsher punishment because of knowing, because of having the knowledge and not applying it. I have to get over this feeling right now, and quickly, because I'm thoroughly embarrassed and ashamed of my progress, or shall I say the lack thereof. This was definitely a scolding for me, and I'm accepting my role in what I have created, especially with me having the knowledge and these teachings, which are so right and exact and so beneficial if you apply them. As you always say, Brother Ben, execute. When you have the knowledge, when you are given knowledge of whatever it is that benefits you, execute on that. So I have some work to do, so much work to do. I was at the org the last couple of days in a row, and it just refreshed my heart, my mind, that just being in the building, knowing that there's knowledge and so much to learn. Just the thought of the auditing again, which is so necessary, so necessary. And then to come back here now this morning and hear this, I needed this. This was for me this morning. So thank you for this here. This is one to go back and listen to. It's time to become that soldier that I was in the beginning. Wherever it was that I failed, I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I just know I have to become that soldier. You say, I have to get back to soldiering, to being that soldier, not necessarily soldiering, because I know that's in my head, that's for the brothers and the falling in the ranks and doing what the brothers do with regard to soldiering on the outside. But yeah, this helped wake me up again for sure. So I got work to do, as was said in the chat, we all do. But yeah, let's all start with self. Atone for self. Tone with self. And then with Allah, and begin again. Go back to that pledge for those who know what I'm talking about. I'm going back to that pledge and begin again. So I wish everyone the best of everything on your journey back to Allah. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak this morning.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you for sharing. Something that's something that I want to share. I was trying to find it so that I can say it verbatim. But what I'm hearing in the spirit is I don't know. It's a downing of the spirit when I believe it should be some level of upliftment. We should be uplifted in the spirit. So look at what the minister said. Now this ain't verbatim because I was trying to find it, but in closing the gap, maybe somebody can help me. In closing the gap, the minister says when we find imperfection, that we find it with joy. Because now that I found the imperfection and it has been exposed, I now can see and it's been brought out what I need to perfect. See, in the grafting process of the white man being grafted from us, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1974 said, they can easily say, you made me. That's the lower self being brought out so we can look at it and see what needs to be perfected in us. So when we see a imperfection, don't be down over it. And you can be, disappointed in yourself and I should do better. But when we expose to it, we say, oh yeah, thank you, Allah, for exposing something in me that I now know I can see that I need to focus on now. Because I know in order for me to perfect me, this got to be exposed. My lack of patience got to be exposed so I can fix it. My lack of understanding got to be exposed. My lack of duty, all that got to be exposed. Now watch this. Now other people, they ain't going, when they see your flaw, they gonna make you feel down. They are gonna make you look like, oh, look, gotcha, nigga. Look, oh yeah, nigga ain't been doing your work. Yeah, ain't been doing your duty. Yeah, old hypocrite. No. You let them think that. See, Allah is exposing it to us because he says, oh, that's my son. That's my daughter. I know what she capable of. I know what he capable. Let me show him where I need him to go. Let me expose it to him so he can see it, then go correct it. And when you correct it, listen, it's all good. It's fixed. Remember, man, today is the first day of the rest of our life. Yesterday done already happened. We on a new day. Two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. So if I make up my mind right now, from this lecture forward, from this day forward, I'm on it. I'm no longer slacking. Man, Allah see that? Said those who are called by my name must humble themselves, seek my face, pray. Look, then turn from their wicked ways. Then I will hear from them and heal their land. Come on, man, this is a criteria. When you turn, when you pray, when he see you seeking him, you ain't got to be down on yourself, man. We all got something that we struggling with. So when Allah expose it to us, all right now, boy, you sure having a hard time with that. Thank you for showing me. Because if you left it hidden, it would have still been in me. If you left it hidden, so when you see a flaw in your brother, man, you better be careful how you think. Because Allah is viewing how you think. Miss Perfect, Mr. Perfect, you think Allah don't know you got something that you struggling with? You may not have the struggle that he got. So when you eating to live and you eating one meal every other day, that's what you want to stay on. All your posts is about fasting and eating good. And nigga, yeah, you bitch supposed to be eating one meal a day. Good, but you ain't prayed in 6 months. Good, but you ain't had a fish. Nobody interested in 1 year. See? So all of us got an area that you're strong in, so you want to lean in on that area and make others feel condemned because you done perfected that. But it's something that you ain't got perfected now. Come on now. So when you see your brother and they a certain type of way and they struggling here and they struggling there, let that be a reminder of yours. Thank Allah that he's still covering yours. His is just being exposed. Hers is just being exposed for whatever Allah's reason is for allowing it to be exposed. You better just be grateful that yours ain't exposed yet. So no, man, when we get a flaw, or you see a flaw in your brother, correct him, but correct him with love as if the minister would, man. Yeah, brother, damn, brother, you messed up again. Ah, shoot, sister. Ooh, you know you we're supposed to do that. But then you remember, shit, there's some stuff, boy, that I ain't supposed to be doing, boy, that don't nobody come on now. So let me tell you the right thing, and then let me be there with you with love. Don't you want God to be there for your sins with love? He gonna get you now. You gonna feel guilty. You ain't gonna sleep as good. But he really ultimately, that's set up, that's a law set up feeling like that. So he really just wants you to get back on the right path. He ain't trying to condemn you and have you out there and you just a whole life destroyed. That ain't his purpose. So no, man, I don't like that. We gonna uplift our spirits today, man. We all got something that we struggling with, that we behind on, that we ain't been as good with. It don't mean be complacent with where we are, but we thankful, man. Thank you for exposing this to me. Cause now I can put my strategy and my plan together to go correct this. That's all. And then watch this. When you correct that, oh, now we all on our duty. And we doing what we making this word bond. Guess what? Something else gonna come up. Something else gonna come up that we ain't did. That needs to be exposed. That's gonna make us feel scolded. And we gonna say, thank you. Okay, there go my next assignment. Okay, here we go. I gotta pick up on this part. And it's gonna keep happening and happening and happening. That's what's gonna happen on our evolution into becoming God. That's all that is. So no, man, when we see something, shoot, I be needing something. I might listen. Now sometimes I be feeling that way. Damn, I messed up again. And you sometimes if you ain't got nobody that can breathe life into you. So when I hear it, man, I gotta uplift your spirit, man. Listen, your mentor. Come on, let's just keep it real. Your mentor, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your student minister, your pastor, all of them. I don't give a damn how good they can hide it. All of them got something that they ain't good at. All of them got something that if God exposed it, we'll say, damn. So don't let nobody fool you now. I don't care how good they can preach, how good they look and sound. Oh, they always on point. Garment be on point. Bow tie be straight up. Your pastor come in looking, smelling good. All of us, man. And I ain't saying it because I know people's secrets. I'm saying because I know what the scriptures say. No, not one. And the minister done said it. So come on, man. Come on. He came knowing who you was. He came 9,000 miles knowing who we was. So let's just, every time we got a little bang, ooh-wee. Okay, let me correct it now. He said work cheerfully. The work is not just the work of resurrecting the dead outside. Shoot, it's work. Shoot, I'm still resurrecting me. Shoot, we still being resurrected. He said self-improvement is the basis for community development. Self-improvement, self-improvement. So, man, I'm trying to, work cheerfully. I'm already, I mean, when we do wrong, we already feel the guilt now. Damn. It's already hard for you to sleep, but then you adding on to it. You already got the feeling. Now, come on, correct it. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I did. Yep. All right, now I'm finna fix it. So yeah, man, let's keep our spirits up, man. When you see your brother down, man, pick that spirit up. When you see your sister down, pick that spirit. Don't let us stay low, man. The world gonna already keep us low. Outside people gonna already keep us low. Outside people already make you feel like you're condemned and going to hell. Everybody else gonna do that really well. They gonna condemn you, boy. Oh, they gonna talk about you. Ooh, they gonna tweet up, oh, they gonna group chat you about you. They gonna slander you. Oh, they gonna talk about you now. They ain't gonna never expose theirs now. They ain't gonna put theirs in the group chat. They ain't gonna put they sins in they ain't gonna send a message and say, hey guys, I just want to let you guys know all the sins I've been doing. They ain't gonna do that now. So they gonna do it to you. They gonna do it, So they already doing that. Don't do it to yourself. Somebody gonna already have something bad to say to you. Don't allow your own voice to be saying it. Again, this don't mean stay complacent and justify what you're doing, but damn, everybody else gonna already point the finger at you. So when you go to bed at night, all right, soldier, all right, we're gonna get this here together. We're going to get this here together. We starting tomorrow. We're going to get this here together. We're going to fight this urge. We're going to fight this vice. We're going to fight this addiction. Come on. You got it. Come on. You got this. We got to encourage ourselves, man. Because when we there lonely at nighttime and we sitting there, it's just you and Allah. It's just you and Allah. When you about to do whatever you about to do, it's just you. So it's only you that can hold yourself back and say, nah, I ain't gonna do it this time. I ain't gonna do it this time. So that self-talk that we have with ourselves gotta be on point, man. It gotta be on point. Don't let nobody bring you down, man. Don't let nobody bring you. Look at the minister. The minister said, listen, I gotta atone. That's something that stood out to me too as I'm finna pastor Mike. The minister said, no, you know what? I have to atone for the condition. Now, when I heard that, I said, ooh, wow. The minister atoning for our condition. Now, the minister, now, in our mind, no, the minister doing his job. The minister doing his job. But the minister said, no, man, I have to atone. Look at the minister's spirit. He's still fired up in the lecture, ain't he? His spirit's still high, ain't he? And he got to atone. He just saying, look, come on now. We got our assignment now. We got to make the word bond. We finna move. He ain't, well, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad vision ain't came into existence, man. So, you know, man, I got to atone. No, the minister saying, come on. I need your help. Let's do this. He inspiring us, right? So why can't we have that same spirit when it comes to what we got to atone for? You see? All right, who next? Brother Daniel, I think, was next. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Sister Janie. Go ahead, Sister Janie.
Assalamu alaikum. So I had so many points that stuck out to me. But last night, before I went to bed, what you said, Brother Ben, is so true because I was beating myself up yesterday because it just seemed like everything was just going wrong for me. And I was like, oh Allah, like what do I have to go back and think about so that I can fix it? Because it just seems like thing after thing is just not going my way. So I was up all night thinking about something and I just really didn't get any sleep. And when prayer came around, I was trying to justify it by saying, well, I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm going to just miss prayer. But I'd remembered something that Brother Nuri said. He said that, you know, when you say prayer, everything falls into place. He said it's just the constitution of the energy. He says it becomes, you know, attracting. So he said, don't miss your prayers. And so I got up and I said prayer and then I went to sleep. And I got up in time because I wanted to hear, you know, this part of the power call. And everything that was said just made me understand that everything that happens in our life happens for a reason and everything is ordered. And so I thought about how I had a mentor. He was an older gentleman in the mosque and he had been in the mosque prior to 75. His name was Brother Romeo. And Brother Romeo would always say, a day above ground is a good day, and it's a day to get it right. This is what he would say. He would say, so don't be sad. Just try to figure out how to get it right. And when I thought about that just now, because of what you were saying, you know, being uplifted in your spirit, Allah knows our trials. He knows what we go. He knows when we're having downs. He knows when we're having ups. And it may just be that he may have put that trial on us because he wants to see like the condition of our heart. On part one, or maybe it was part two, the most honorable Elijah, Master Farad Muhammad tested the most honorable Elijah Muhammad when he said, you know, Elijah, I could kill them all, and me and you can go make a nation. And he knew before he even asked the question, the answer that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad would give. And that was that he wanted to, you know, no, he said, kill me too, because he knew that, you know, we are the people of God. He felt that. He loved us so much. You know, that's how you know that he's the one. And then the minister today talked about how we become crystallized. He said that he couldn't leave until the body of Christ was in all of the people. And that's why he, you know, made that atonement. He said, first, I want to atone because of the condition of the house and the hearts of our people. So last night, this is how you know your steps are ordered, because I was listening to an old lecture, and it was the minister at the graduating class of Dianetic Auditing in 2010. And in that lecture, the minister at the end, he made us say a pledge. Just like, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad gave that answer that he would make his word bond. And in that I saw something when he said that today. And I saw that that we were all soldiers in the army of God. And why? Because we're taught that our way of devotion is our work. And when I heard that, it made me think about what you always say, Brother Ben, when you say execute. It ain't nothing. You can study, you can, learn, but it's nothing without execution. And when I heard that, it clicked. Something clicked inside of me. And it made, when we talked about the books of Acts on the lecture today, in the book of Acts was the disciple after Jesus left, they got up and they did the mission, and they made the Jesus name known throughout the world. And so, when we think about it like that, in that lecture in 2010, the minister said that what you're saying right now, when we find our Dianetic audience, he said, go get cleared. He said, because the devil would, at a certain point, use our engrams against us. And he wanted us to hurry up and quicken the pace of getting clear and getting rid of our engrams so that they will not be used against us. And so I just thought that was so profound, with regard to our steps being ordered. Why did I hear that lecture yesterday? I don't know. I'm in my mosque, I'm involved in Dianetic auditing. But I just thought that that was so profound, because also the minister said in that lecture that when we go to the org and we get cleared, he said things come up. He said we find out our level of integrity. We find out if we're strong in it or weak in it. He said we find out what our character is. We find out if we're strong or weak in it. He said we find out what our level of IQ is. We find out if it's low or if it's high. And he said, but that's okay. Like you said, when we find out, that's a good thing. It's like a smudge on your garment. When you find it, you go to work to clean it up, because we have the time, we have the blessing of life to wake up another day and do that and do it, clean it up. Whatever it is that we find and we atone with ourselves, we clean it up. And so it's a good day. I'm always happy and thankful for waking up, because I always think about what that brother put on my heart when I was a young Muslim coming into the mosque. He said, sis, don't be sad. I remember one time I got put out of the mosque. You know how when you get put out of the mosque, out of the circle, they will, people will shun you. But he would come to me every day and say, keep your head up, sis. Every day above ground is a good day, because it's a chance to get it right. And I think about that almost every day. So thank you. I just wanted to share, I had a lot of points that stuck out to me, but I don't want to take up, too much of your time. But our way of devotion is to work. He said, absolutely. Care if you're a doctor, I don't care, you gotta work. And the reason why we have to work is because we're working out our salvation. In the work is our salvation. So thank you for allowing me to share. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. You made me think of something about when you said that garment. Hold on. You said if smudge or something on the garment. I was thinking about when we walk outside and we got something on our nose or something on our face that we can't see. When somebody say they got, you got something on your nose, you say thank you. Man, thank you. Why? Because you can remove it. Man, appreciate it. Man, get that little book out of my nose. You know what I'm saying? Get that little book. Ooh, that's a big one there. Boy, appreciate it. You thank them with joy. Man, I sure didn't want to walk around with that. So that's the same thing. People see, when somebody points something out, you don't look at it and say, damn, you say, man, I sure appreciate it, boy. Let me go and get this thing up out of me. so I can move forward with it removed. That's the same process. Now, obviously, that's a lot easier to accept. And, when somebody find you doing something wrong, it feel worse. Of course, that's so it ain't like the pain or what you feel gonna go away, but that's the overall concept is that, hey, man, you want somebody to point it out. You want it to be pointed out so that you can, accept it. And oftentimes, when we messing up, Allah pointed out to you first. And when you don't listen, others are allowed to see it. That's the key. You see, first is covered. Don't nobody know. But Allah, you'll get that little feeling. Oh, I need to fix this. Oh, okay, nobody knows yet. Okay, nobody knows. Then if you don't fix it, somebody else will point it out for you. That's a warning, you see. So it's a good thing, man, for somebody. And when we point it out with a good spirit, man. You never know what people are going through. You never know people's backgrounds. You never know what people are suffering with. So be mindful of your words when you're pointing it out. In proper handling of the people, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, call it out indirectly. Talk about your flaws in trying to correct them. See, that's from How to Win Friends and Influence People, I believe, by Dale Carnegie. That's the root of it. But, when we're, that's a good point. When you call it out, maybe call it out indirectly. Don't be so harsh with it. Damn, brother, you the nigga. I done seen you eat 3 times today. Come on, man. Man, I remember it was a time, boy, when I used to eat 3 times, man. I learned, talk about, because, hell, you ain't perfect. So let's find better ways to uplift each other as well. We all, talk about your history when you didn't have it all the way together. Don't try to make us feel like you just on point, A1 since day one. And now I'm feeling bad because I'm feeling unworthy now. No. So let's find better ways to uplift each other too. And on the flip side of that, if somebody isn't as good at calling it out, learn how to take the root of what they're saying, meaning even if they do say it in the wrong way. You rise above emotions. We rise above emotions into the thinking of God and say, I don't like how he said that, but I get what they were saying. I don't like how she presented that, but at the same time, damn, she right. You know what I mean? That's the flip side of that. That's where the soldier part comes in. He yelling at me. He said he cussed at me. Okay. Was he right though? You see? So that's the flip side of that. So yeah, let's strive to be better. But on the flip side, let's not be punks now either. And I'm finna leave because I don't like how the captain said this. Man, he pissed me off. The minister said that in the mind of God. We're going to watch that next, the mind of God. He said, oh, man, if I would have known you would have been a punk, I wouldn't even call you to this. The minister was talking about those who, you come in and brother having a bad day and I don't like how he talked to me. Oh, man, you got ran off by some words, man. Yeah, this ain't going to be no easy process, man. I know we got the garments on and we got the suits on, but don't think everybody in here perfect, man. Because we not. That's your warning. If you think everybody finna be perfect and everybody gonna have the greatest spirit every time you see them, all your instructions gonna come, oh, beloved, please, can you come to... No, man. We still dealing with... This is a hospital. We getting it together. So if you coming looking for perfection, man, you might well stay where you at. So that's the other side of this here. Oh, man, they always calling about this. Nigga don't need to check on me. Man, so? You do it. Whatever you want done, you do it. You change your spirit. Man, my study group don't be, man, my minister, man, my mind don't be. Okay, what you gonna do about it? How long you willing to do somebody and suffer when you can't get it to change? At least Allah can say, boy, he been trying to change it for 5 years. But Allah don't want to hear he just been complaining to me for the past 10 years, but ain't did nothing about it. Maybe maybe you have that dissatisfaction in you so that you can be the one to fix it. So that's the other side of it. It's about what we can bring to this, not just what we can take away. If we claim this gave us life, man, this gave me life, the life-giving teachings. Okay, damn. What do you give in return for getting life? So yeah, some corruption in the building. Yeah, it's some backbiting in the building. Yeah, some slander in the building you done found out about. Man, so that ain't nothing compared to you getting life. Yeah, some unfairness maybe here and there, but that ain't in comparison to you talking about life. That's what come with life. That's why there's a process of atonement. Hell, would we need a process of atonement if he thought it wasn't nothing going on? You don't think he knows this? That's why we even got a process. That's why there's a word called forgiveness. That's why it exists. Because he already know we messed up. Okay, I'm off of that one. Sister Randisha?
Yes, sir. So, assalamu alaikum, family. So, this is actually one of my favorite lectures. I nurse on this lecture all the time, and welcome back. I did miss you all on the power call as well. But when the minister stated that, that they want to talk about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but they want to leave him out. And I thought about in John 16, verses 6, where he said, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. When the minister also stated to us is they're not like me. And I just so happened to put in a chat that, the minister is always dropping bars and our rappers pick up on it all the time, right? And they put it in these things like, even when Muhammad Ali was saying, a black man's heaven is a white man's hell, right? It was a song from the minister. So the minister's words is always being echoed throughout. And I think about the trumpet and I think about the time. As you stated yesterday, faith without works is dead. Mere belief counts for nothing. It counts for nothing. I was just dealing with a personal issue within self is because I'm very, very closed off. You have to be close to me to know certain things about me, right? And my grandmother says this all the time is 2 things that I won't ever do is I will listen to you because on the outside, and this relates to if you're not a part of, this is not paid advertising, by the way, but if you're not a part of building wealthy families, you definitely want to come on because last night's class is something you don't want to miss. Right, was something that you should have been there for. But my grandmother says is that everything has to be perfect for me. And I thought about that last night when I was in my raw editing stage and I was like, no, but I can't put it out like this. Like everything has to be in tip top shape. And that's not reality. But yesterday gave me an eye opener because that is how I, Sister Randy, should think. But like you said, as we're going through the process, right, we're uncovering certain things. When we're going through the process, everything doesn't look good. When we're going through the process, it's going to be ugly. But I, Sister Randisha, had to come out and I had to step out on faith. So I do thank you to the believers that was in the chat saying, come on, sis, come on, you can do this. Sometimes we need cheerleaders. Sometimes we need our brothers and our sisters to egg us on. Because although I may be a strong soldier, I may not be strong in something else that my other sister is strong in. I may not be able to pick up on things that my brother is able to pick up on. So I just wanted to say those few things. But this is definitely a lecture that is a must watch, a must continue to watch and continue to nurse on it. And I thought about when the minister was talking about the scientists, right? And I always study. I was actually going to name my son Sun Tzu, right? And the art of war. And I studied that as a child. My mind has always been very, very evolved around certain things, 48 laws of powers and all of these things, right? But when I came into, my grandmother says to me, she always knew that I was going to be a different grandchild because she said at 13, I was convicted that I was going to be a Muslim. I stopped eating pork and X, Y, and Z, right? But when I studied that, right, even in war, right? When they talk about the 31 scientists, that one is always protected. And I think about how we move as security and how certain things is. So when we go back to those numbers, I always think about that. And then I was looking at something that was 19 and 21, and I thought about the number 13, but 13 backwards is the number 31. So I just wanted to give us hope and encouragement that we all need each other, that we all have to make sure, because I know that sometimes my tone, if I ever, because we're in the atonement process, right? And I want to say happy holy day of atonement to all, and long live the spirit of the Million Man March, because it's a spirit that will never die, because we always have to atone with oneself. So, assalamu alaikum, family. Thank you so much, Brother Ben, for allowing me to speak.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. And then we're going to end off with the great Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be great, Brother Ben. Brother, I'm so glad that you touched on what you touched on. Because I too was hearing a high energy of maybe guilt and shame. What I was thinking of what the minister said in how we must be productive, he said, in order to kill a defect, you must expose a defect. So we shouldn't feel so bad about the exposure. There's no way to killing it if it's hidden. We're in the time of, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Islam will bring everything out of you, both good and bad. So we got to accept that. Now, it brings me to Study Guide 7, Building the Will, where he put the letter out saying, get rid of fear and guilt. Allah knew what you were when he brought you here. When you found a spot, smile, get some spot remover, and work on it. And he said that the reason for the guilt is because we know that we violated something that we shouldn't have. And he said the reason for the fear is the absence of knowledge. So we have 4 study guides that deal with building the wheel. No other subject is giving them that type of prominence. It's because it's hard. Building a wheel, trying to come up from under this beast, this gravitational pull of this world, and becoming righteous Muslim, because we were called righteous Muslims, because it's not easy in this world. That's why we have 4 study guides. So if we revisit that letter in Study Guide 7, we won't, as Brother Ben laid out everything that we shouldn't be hanging on to. We can get up and keep on moving. He was just speaking what was in Study Guide number 7 in that letter about let's get up and let's keep it moving. And I also remember what the minister said, I'm not perfect, but I'm standing on holy ground. Not that I'm holy. He reflects us. If we sincerely want to be obedient to Allah, then we got to take our shoes off and stand on the same holy ground that he's standing on. He's not standing there alone, and that's we just going to get off the ground. But if we stand on that ground with him, then we too can be forgiven as we strive to overcome those imperfections that hit us. And the last point I wanted to make is that as I was listening to the great students, to be obedient, to get up and do something, not just be a talker. The thought hit my mind, and it's a simple thought, but when we just strive to be Muslim, which is what he said we got to be Muslim first. That's action. Evidently, it's not easy because we up and down with this piece. But when we strive and have success in just being a Muslim, that's action. We don't have to look nowhere else. We ain't got to open up a bank to be a Muslim. We don't have to get farms to be right. Just every time we get rid of something that's we know we shouldn't do and be better at just being a Muslim, we have thus produced some action that can become the example. Because we got a lot of bankers, but they're not right. We got farmers, but they're not right. We got venture entrepreneurs and people doing all kinds of capital investment, but they're not necessarily don't have the character that Allah is looking for. So when we submit and strive and make a monumental increase in just being Muslim, which is first, then we'll be able to unite with our brothers and sisters on that type of success. That's all, fam.
Praise be to Allah. Well, family, this has been another great power call. If y'all not inviting people to this, man, what you doing? We got to get our people on this to hear this knowledge, man. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all, everybody who shared. I really enjoyed everything that everybody shared with this, and we will be back on, if not tomorrow, Friday. Again, I'm got a lot of stuff going on. We got some stuff in person. Make sure you guys follow BWF University if you guys want to stay tuned to what we're building here and what we've been working on. As you heard Sister Randisha say, last night's class was really good. So if you guys want to join Building Wealthy Families, I'm lying. It's www.bwfuniversity.com. www.bwfuniversity.com. We go live every week, coaching, helping each other with our offers, our products, our services, and mindset to move forward and build. So thank y'all for listening, and I will see you guys when I see you. Just stay tuned to the school app. Assalamu alaikum.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister.